The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy. Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, Brian Haynes with you this morning in the Wicked Weed studio. Check them out at wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. And, welcome everybody into the program. It is a Friday. We're feeling really good. We got a lot of work to do today, and we're really excited about it. We're going to have a lot of the team-by-team schedule videos coming out today. Jeremy and I will sit down and break down all of the schedules for each and every division, each and every team, including our predictions for all. And those, like I say, those will be rolling out over the channel here. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you can get all of that content. Share it with your friends as well. Send them their team's video and welcome them into the Sportsocracy community. All right, we got a lot to talk about here. LeBron James is taking a lot of heat because of his comments that he made the other night about missing the Laker game. Well, he didn't miss the game. He was there for the game. He showed up because apparently lowering the championship banner was the most important thing to accomplish that day. And then if you didn't hear it yesterday on ESPN Radio, Greene went off about this and how this is what's wrong with the NBA. You have players out there saying the more important thing is to lower the banner and be there with the fans rather than actually playing in the game. So we'll get into that. We've got old fat Kelvin Benjamin's trying to make a comeback in the NFL. And he's going to the team
where wide receiver is the last need that they needed.
You're probably going to want to tune in for that.
The New York Giants.
Haven't had any coffee this morning. I got a doctor's appointment. Can't drink anything. And fat Kelvin Benjamin.
Wait a minute. Why can't you drink anything?
The New York Giants have
now. The doctor says you can't drink or eat anything before you go to the doctor's appointment.
Right. And then only when you're getting
you gotta give blood. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a physical thing going on.
Yeah. He's gonna give blood and all that. He's not to that stage yet, is he?
He's older than
Are you that old? Are you that old?
I'm 43 years old.
Did you have to take the colonoscopy?
No. They ain't take.
No,
you're not doing that.
No, but he's gonna have a one-on-one with Dr. Woo Woo. You mark my words.
Much quicker than we will.
I'll go ahead. Me and Rodney Carrington have one thing in common. I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm gonna die of prostate cancer.
My stream has been pretty decent lately. I haven't had any water spigot going. Yeah. And none of that. So
you only like that for recreational purposes? Is that what you're saying?
100%. Look.
For suitcasing only.
I mean, there's a merit to any activity.
Yeah, the New York Giants have become the Betty Ford Clinic of wide receivers, and we'll talk about that. We got a big weekend coming up as well. We got the Byron Nelson tournament going on in the golf world. We got UFC 262. Jeremy will make his picks before the end of the program here. So let's get into it. LeBron James. Oh, by the way, we're going to talk some NBA playoff stuff too. Scenarios. 2 games to go in the regular season. Seeding can change. All of that. We'll get into it. First, let's talk about LeBron James. Because LeBron James, the other night, he tweeted out just before game time, I don't know, it was an hour, half an hour before tip-off, saying that he was not going to be playing in the game, making his comeback from the injury like he was supposed to.
Yeah.
He was supposed to play Tuesday night. Then they decided, no, he'll play Wednesday night. And then Wednesday night, lo and behold, guess what? LeBron says he's not playing in the game, because it's just not that important. Now, he didn't say that, but what he did say in his tweet was that I will be there, more importantly, to lower the damn championship banner.
Yeah.
Look, as a fan who's looking forward to the championship banners and the ring ceremonies coming up in just a couple of months, I get it. I understand that is important to the fans. But what is also important to the fans is that you actually participate in the damn game.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure Laker fans would love to see you, get out there and get some reps in before the playoffs begin in 2 games. There's only 2 games left.
Ugh.
And I completely agree with Greene when he said, why should we care about the games when it's obvious that you don't care about the games? And that's the thing that's wrong with the NBA today.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
You're not going to want to talk about this after I
apparently Jeremy's going to be going up.
Yeah,
Listen,
he wants to put the cherry on the top of the sundae.
I've just about had it with the Kyrie Irvings, the Kawhi Leonards, the Paul Georges, all these guys that take 1 game off, 2 games off a week just to be load. They actually had to come up with it to be able to go on the injury reports. Like, it's load management. And the thing is, what's really stupid is that it all happens 5 minutes before the game. You know, you want to talk about why people are leaving the NBA, why they're losing fans, why there's multiple reasons, and we all know what they are. But this is a big part of what they're doing. They're not. It's you know, fantasy, and I'm going to say fantasy because it is a part of that too. There is people that are involved in the NBA because of fantasy, and when you have guys that are deciding to take 5 minutes before the game and not play, people are starting to be like, what the hell are they doing? You know, this all started with, I think, around like Popovich and Tim Duncan, and they would just sit them every once in a while. And I remember it being a couple years ago where they started finding them and stuff like that. It's so absolutely pathetic. If you are a world-class athlete, there is absolutely no reason that you have to take off games to play unless you're actually freaking injured. Plain and simple, and I've just about had it with all of them. And the Lakers need to win games. I mean, it's not like they don't need to win games right now.
Right.
I mean, so it's like, I just don't understand it. If we're going to basically say that all we're going to do is we're going to be good enough to make the playoffs, and then we're all going to play, nobody's going to watch. Absolutely nobody's going to watch the regular season, and you're going to have all your ratings are going to go in the tanker, and then by that time, you're just not going to have, no one's going to be interested in the playoffs either.
They already have.
Yeah.
The ratings have already gone into the tank.
Yeah.
And this only makes it get worse, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Because I think about this as a kid growing up, as a Charlotte Hornets fan, in Asheville, North Carolina, it was a 2-hour drive to get to Charlotte.
Yeah.
At least the way my dad drives. And so when you made a plan to go to a game, you always wanted to make a plan to go see the superstars, because
Yeah.
I mean, we had our own in that day with LJ and Alonzo Mourning and Muggsy Buggs. We had regional stars, but when Michael came to town, you made the plan to go see the Bulls game because Michael was coming to town,
right?
And you knew he was going to play every damn time. It didn't matter if the Bulls had a 17-game lead, Michael was playing, because that was the guy that Michael was. And that was the thing that the Last Dance really made me remember, was that there was a certainty back in the day that when you went to the games, you were going to see the superstars of the NBA play.
Yeah.
I mean, even up, in Kobe's era, when the Lakers were coming to town, you knew you were going to get to see Kobe Bryant play. And, everybody ties this back to Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs and, him sitting out Tim Duncan and Kawhi Leonard and all those guys throughout the season. We understand why it started, but it's gotten to a point where your fan base just doesn't care that much anymore because it's evident that you don't. Nowadays, you can't make a plan to go to an NBA game, drive 2 hours down, maybe get a hotel for the night if you don't want to drive back.
Right.
For the Laker game, if you know that LeBron James and Anthony Davis, there might be a 45% chance that they play.
Yeah.
Who's going to do that? And it just hurts the NBA. It hurts their ratings.
It sure does.
But I don't know what you can do about it. I don't know that you can.
You can start finding people, and you can start. You can start finding people for not showing up to games unless you have an actual doctor show some sort of medical reason that you're. Load management. When you literally come up with a phrase for why they're sitting, to basically acknowledge that this is what they're doing. You're basically saying, do whatever you want, guys.
Right.
There needs to be some sort of fine for this. I know that there was back beforehand. They were starting to fine them if they were going to be sitting, but it just seemed to have gone away. If you're not playing, you got to give me. It's not load management.
Right.
You're a pussy. Plain and simple.
That seems to be something that would fall on the team, and the team would have to levy those kinds of fines.
Yeah.
I don't know if the NBA can really do that and force teams to force their guys to play. It's got to come from the team. And if the team feels like obviously the load management things work and it works and it's going to help us win a championship, I don't see any way that it doesn't continue. Go ahead.
You ready to go, buddy?
You done?
Rev it
I'm all
up.
done.
You done?
Oh, boy. Here we go. I'm
let's-
excited.
I brought a visual aid because visual aids are fun.
Nice.
Would you like to know what this is before I put it on the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the viewership in millions for the NBA Finals.
Okay.
It goes back to the 70s.
Okay.
You see that big fucking drop at the end? You know when that happened? You care to take a guess when that happened?
Load
When
management.
you started telling us that you do not give a fuck about your regular season, and when you determined that this was now your political pulpit, NBA, this is when all of this shit happened. You know why we don't talk about you? Because you're completely fucking irrelevant. 100% you are irrelevant. You get baseball level ratings. And then, after all of this shit, you decide to put political statements on the court. I don't care what they are. You make this your political grandstand. And then just as you're getting to the playoffs, and maybe, just maybe somebody will care again. The only person that's really relevant in your entire sport comes out and says, well, I'm not going to play tonight. Sorry to all of you that, anybody that was planning on watching the game, anybody that had tickets to the game, any of those things. Fuck you. I can really care less what you think. But, thank God I will be here to stand and watch them unfurl a fucking banner. Because God almighty, that's probably good damn television. I'd like to watch LeBron James make a fucking sandwich. I'd like to see him standing in line at a fucking gas station. It's so mind-boggling to me. You want to know why I only want to talk about the NFL? Because it seems to be the only sport that has a freaking brain. Your star athlete, the guy that's out making movies with Bugs Bunny and shit, comes out and says, I'm not going to play tonight. Because who cares? It's just a regular season game. Who are they playing? I don't even remember.
Yeah, that's the
Who were they
Who
playing?
was the game against?
Houston.
Oh, it was the Houston Rockets.
Yep.
It's not like anybody really gave a shit anyway. Nobody cared. But it's really bad when you come out and say, nobody cares. Hey, I'll be there. We'll lift the banner. We'll bring our rings out. We'll talk about what we did last year. And nobody's going to watch. You have literally, you remember that old movie, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
Yeah.
The NBA has How to Lose a Fan Base in 3 years. That's what they've done for the last 3 years because everything they have done, everything has been to either push a narrative on you, politically grandstand, or make you understand that the product just does not matter. Yeah. And I want to care. I love basketball. Played it, coached it, and you know what? I will consume all of the college basketball. All of it. I'll watch it till my dying day. I asked Tank this morning. Do you know how many NBA games I've watched from pillar to post all year? Anybody would take a stab at how many games I've watched?
I think it's 0.
It's 0.
Yeah.
Zero. I have not watched one NBA game from pillar to post because every time the broadcast comes on, they basically tell me, what the fuck does it matter? Who cares? And now you've got the playoffs where every team gets in because it's participation trophy society and everybody has to get a shot. So you got the 10 playing the 9. Who gives a flying rat's ass? And then, the winner of that. You really got to pay attention to that because the winner of that gets to play the 8, and then they play the 7, and then they go to Subway and eat a couple footlongs, and then they play hopscotch and a game of jacks, and who gives a shit?
He makes a great point.
Yeah, Jeremy's hate for the NBA has been coming out, and it's slowly been building in him.
But that's the thing is,
And you know what? It's not the game. It's not the game.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those that says, they don't play in defense. I don't care. I want to see the best in the world be the best in the world. Yeah. You know what I don't want? Above all else, what I don't want? I don't want to have to go, you two talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I want to prove a point.
Okay.
This kind of hatred is what the NBA has done.
Yeah.
They have alienated people in their fan base for political reasons. They have load managed their way into the point where nobody gives a shit about the regular season. And here's the thing. You see, it was a perfect example. Earlier this season, I believe there was a matchup between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Philadelphia 76ers. And this was the primetime TNT game of the week bullshit.
Right.
Everybody tune in for the Chuck and Shaq show with Ernie Johnson and Kenny Smith.
Yeah, more people tune into that than they do the games.
You catch in and they got you. They give you the update on the season and all that kind of stuff, and it goes into the game, and lo and behold, you got one damn player. You got one damn superstar out of all of those guys playing.
Right. And
I'm pretty sure that night it was Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I think Joel Embiid was hurt at the time.
Yeah.
But that was a game that
You
would
supposed
think
to be this
everybody's
big game.
supposed to
They
be
pumped it up
on
all
the floor.
week long, and then it's on the ESPN prime time, and then nobody's playing. I said something about the fantasy too, but you got to think about the betting implications of this as well.
Oh, the bettors. I'll tell you for the bettors.
Yeah.
I speak for the bettors because I am one.
Yeah.
In terms of the NBA, we still bet it.
Yeah.
Do you know how many back channels I have at this point to find out whether players are going to play?
Right.
Because I couldn't tell you how many times I've been sitting there with a bet slip that I put in at 6:55 for a 7-11 tip, and then Anthony Davis's eyebrow hurts and he doesn't play. He went through the layup line and doesn't play.
Yep.
And the NBA's never figured this out. The NFL, how early do you have to get in the injury report? You have to have your 7 inactives. They have to come out how early before kickoff?
It's an hour. Right?
It's an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
It's 90 minutes before kickoff. At 11:30, that has to be in. Do you know what happens if you don't?
What's that?
They put it in for you.
Yeah.
It's never happened to my knowledge. They'll literally do it for you. The bettors in the NFL are going to know who's playing in this game 90 minutes before tip-off. The NBA's never figured that out.
Yeah.
Never figured it out. Building stars, you do I would say a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I would say you do a pretty good job. But why? Why do you do a pretty good job? Think about every star in the NBA. Why do you know about who they are? Go down the list. Giannis Antetokounmpo, who came from Greece. Why do you know who he is?
Because he's an unbelievable basketball
Because the
player.
team's good.
Yeah.
Because there are good players on many teams that you wouldn't know for shit. And I will tell you this as an NBA bettor, there are plenty of guys in this league that can hoop, and you do not have a clue of who they are.
Right.
The only reason you know who Giannis Antetokounmpo is because he's a dude that doesn't talk much.
Yeah.
That's hard to understand when he talks because he is from Greece and English is his second language.
Right.
Nikola Jokic, same thing.
Yeah.
That's not me being. I love Nikola Jokic more than I love damn near any athlete in the world.
Yeah.
The reason that they're popular is because their teams are good.
Yeah.
That's it. The reason Nikola Jokic, I want you to think about this. A year ago, do you think the average NBA fan even knew who Nikola Jokic was?
Not really.
No.
Do you know why they do now?
Because they
played the Lakers in the Western Conference
Yeah.
Finals.
Right.
That's the only reason. Why? Because nobody watches your regular season.
Yeah.
Nobody. Nobody.
No.
Do you know what the average, I pulled this just because I was curious. Do you know what the average NBA network game rates?
No clue.
I don't know, but I guarantee you wrestling beats it every single time.
Aggressively.
Yeah.
Doesn't just beat it, beats it down a sidewalk.
Right.
Really?
More people would
Impact
rather
Wrestling.
watch fake wrestling.
Impact Wrestling beats
not
the
fake.
NBA.
It's not fake.
Head to head.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. I
Yeah.
just saw it. It's funny you mentioned that because that was one of the ones I was going to use.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
What you're the two
Impact Wrestling is
you're
actually,
the two wrestling guys. I don't know what the
Impact
fuck
Wrestling
that
isn't
is.
even on a regular channel. It's on like Pop TV. I'm being dead serious. They're
It
not.
beats NBA network games.
They're not
That's
on
crazy.
like. I mean, you have the AW on TNT and you have USA for WWE. Those are obviously more known. But yeah, I think I'm pretty positive that Impact is on Pop TV.
I didn't even know. I didn't even look what channel it was on.
Yeah. Or
It
Vice.
regularly,
Yeah,
regularly beats NBA network
that's
games.
absolutely insane. When you have a entertainment wrestling product that beats out a national sport.
Michael Whiteside said it's on TBS. Impact is apparently on TBS.
And it's not even one of the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
one,
this
of the,
is-
one of the most advertised. I won't say one of the good ones because I've never seen it.
I wouldn't know.
Right.
I mean, for all I know,
Impact
it could
is like
be the
TNA.
Kardashians beating the hell out of each
Impact
other.
is TNA, which was,
Yeah.
For all
minor leagues.
The Impact Wrestling could be the Kardashians beating each other in the heads with steel chairs, and I would not know.
Yeah.
I could have family members that work for Impact Wrestling. I wouldn't know because I heard of it 4 minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And that beats NBA games on NBA TV.
Yeah, Chuck G says it's all the wrestlers that left the WWE or got fired.
Basically.
Wah wah wee wah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Kurt Angle still contending that?
Kurt Angle's one bump away from being
Do
paralyzed.
we have any Mick Foley sightings there?
He was there a couple years ago. That's how bad it was. He was still wrestling there.
He was not wrestling.
Yes, he was. Ric Flair was wrestling there a couple years ago.
Oh,
not
no.
even lying.
Whoa,
Hogan was wrestling there
is
a
that
couple
the
years ago.
thing with the guy that started wooing at Ric Flair?
Yep. Jay Lethal and back and forth. That's the product.
That's Impact?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was.
Let me tell you. He was perfect Ric Flair.
Oh, that was a great
He was a perfect
stand-up.
Ric Flair.
So we went down a wrestling rabbit hole.
Yeah, we did. Sorry.
Get back to
The nature of the beast, and this is what I really wanted to rant about. So I'm going to pull old Mr. Cameron back on me.
Yeah.
Here's what drives me crazy, and this is what really revved me up about this. My drive-in every day is ESPN Radio. We work for ESPN. That's what I listen to. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, who was, I don't know who was hosting it, but it was Keyshawn and J. Will. They asked Mike Tannenbaum, former Jets god-awful GM, about load management in the NBA. And when he said, yeah, it's a good idea, they started clapping. Yeah, thank you. Here's what you don't seem to understand. They have you. They don't give a fuck what you think. Jay Williams and Keyshawn Johnson, they're going to watch the NBA every night, no matter what you do.
Yep.
It could turn into the biggest three-ring circus in the history of sports. Those people will watch. You know who won't? Me, and him, and him, and you. And you know why I know that? Because you've proven it. So former players, they love load management. These guys, they will prolong their careers and make them more money. Well, here's the problem. Do you know how you make money? You have to get ojos on your product.
You do.
And right now, you don't have it. And the reason you don't have it is he said something earlier that was profound to me. All right, we got the Charlotte Hornets that are right down that are an hour and a half away?
Yeah.
If I went to buy tickets, I have absolutely no idea who's playing. None. Mm-hmm. There's no way I could possibly know. If you get hurt, that's one thing. If you just decide, I don't want to play tonight.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Why would I ever buy tickets? Mm-hmm. And the question that I was going to ask the two of you, and I'm going to pair it to you now, is there is a game tonight between the Denver Nuggets and the Detroit Pistons. I will give you $1 US if you can tell me any player playing for the Detroit Pistons. Anyone. Name me any player.
Jeremy Grant?
Out.
Sadiq Bey.
Sadiq Bey is the starting small forward. Let's go for two. Double or nothing.
Double or nothing.
Let's go double or nothing.
Oh,
see if you can get a second one.
Yeah. Amir Johnson, is he still on that team?
Amir Johnson.
Amir Johnson.
I just turned it back like 10 years.
Honestly, I don't know if I can actually.
Here's their starting lineup because you're not going to be able to do it. I know this definitively. Killian Hayes, Josh Jackson, Sadiq Bey, previously mentioned, Sekou Doumbouya, former bust first-round draft pick that's now starting at power forward for them, and Jahlil Okafor.
Jahlil Okafor
is starting at the center. The four coming off the bench are Hamidou Diallo, Saban Lee, who if he walked in the studio I wouldn't know who the fuck he was, Tyler Cook, who I'm pretty sure is a realtor in Asheville, and Davidas Servidis. I think it's Davidas Servidis.
Davidas Servidis.
Whose name rhymes. His name freaking rhymes.
And he's my new favorite player in the NBA.
He went full Jill Trill and his name rhymes.
Yeah.
That's what they're asking you to pay for.
It sounds like an oral disease.
Yeah.
I got
Javitas really
Servidis.
Conjunctivitis.
I mean, it's unfreaking-leavable.
Yeah.
Matthew Hoffman got Sadiq Bey too.
But of course it is
I just looked in the chat.
the Detroit Pistons, so who cares?
But that's the
the worst
point.
damn team.
What you just said is my whole point. The NBA has made you understand. How many teams are you supposed to care about right now?
Basically
5.
It's about right.
Yeah.
I was going to say 6.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback on what you were saying about, and what he was saying, and what you were saying about the, going to these games when you don't know who they're going to play. That's what helped a lot of small market teams
Absolutely.
survive was that they would get good people for their home games, but they would sell out when the Lakers would come in, when the Bulls would come in, when these teams would come in. They would sell out beforehand, and it would help those small market teams, and it put more eyeballs on other guys, and they looked, I'm gonna start watching these games here.
Right.
I'm gonna start watching these games here, and you don't know anymore, and it's just again, it's too long of a season. The NBA wants all the money.
Right.
They don't care if they don't play as long as they're on TV.
Right.
They get the NBA, they seal the contracts, and they get all this stuff. But once these contracts run out, there's going to be people that are going to start running for the hills, and they're going to start going to smaller. What does it make for ESPN to have the games on when MLS can probably outrate them?
Right.
When these kind of things, you're going to put a product on the screen that makes money and people look at, not what people don't watch.
Well, with the teams making money off of these games, it's kind of like college football. Think about it in that sense of the Charlotte Hornets in the NBA are like Western Carolina in college football. They need those big revenue games to make up the downfall of the rest of the season.
Right.
Because you're going to have sparse attendance for the Detroit Pistons game because and maybe maybe more fans would show up because they know they're going to win. But that was also when we were growing up, those were the poor people games.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have a lot of money as a family. So we couldn't pay $100 to go to the Chicago Bulls game because that was going to be the cheapest ticket that you could find.
Yeah.
You could pay $15
right,
and get in to see the Charlotte Hornets against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. And we're talking about all of these things.
Yeah.
All of the things that the NBA is doing to bastardize the product.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the elephant in the room. There's an elephant in the room that we don't talk about on this show.
Yeah.
They did a poll. We haven't talked about this poll.
Okay.
And the reason we haven't talked about this poll is because we don't talk about politics and we steer away from it intentionally. And this is not me talking about politics. This is me compounding the argument that we've already made.
Yeah.
Yahoo News and YouGov did a poll of confirmed sports fans.
Yeah.
Okay.
How they confirmed them as sports fans, I have absolutely no idea.
They probably just looked at their
This was sports on the whole.
Yeah.
What percentage of people would you say have watched more sports because of all the social justice messaging?
How many people have watched more?
What percentage of people have watched more sports?
I'm going to say 3.5%.
You're too low. It's 11.
Okay.
11%.
Yeah, that's not good.
What percentage say they have watched drastically less? This is across all sports.
I'm going to go 75%.
That's stupidly high. I hate playing these games with y'all because you go ridiculous.
Let's go 52.
35.
Really?
Do you realize how much a 35% dip in your
That's
ratings
huge.
is?
Yeah.
If 35% of your audience just flies away, you don't have a product anymore.
Yeah.
You don't. It's gone. And now I need you to understand, that's across sports on the whole.
Yeah, that's
Do
not
you know what it was for the NBA?
Oh, God.
When asked about the NBA, what number do you think said they watched less NBA because of social justice messaging?
I'm going to bring my high mark down. I'm going to go with 47%.
Too low.
Oh.
I'm going to go with 58.
Too low. It's 62%.
I'm not shocked.
62% said they watched less.
And it shouldn't be surprising to anybody.
You want to know what percent said they watched more? I'll give you a hint.
3.5%.
It's less than the number of fingers on my hand.
Oh, my God.
3.5%.
It's 4. It's 4. So you did all of this, and the reason that I brought that up was not to talk about, oh, I'm so pissed off at politics.
Right.
You want to know how you know that we're not going to talk politics? LMNO that way. It's literally on the freaking screen of every product we put out.
Yeah.
That's the way. This is how we are. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. You know why? Because you keep telling us that you don't want it.
Yeah.
So we're going to steer right into that skid.
Yeah.
Let's take that. Let's just put that on the table and leave it there and not talk about it.
Yeah.
Now compound everything that we have just sat here and talked about.
Yeah.
You got the stars that don't play, so you never know if they're going to be in the arena. You know what I don't want to do as a guy that coached basketball and played it for 20 years?
Yeah.
You know what I don't want to do? I don't want to go into an arena, and I'm not even going to use Detroit because I've already used that one. I don't want to go into an arena and watch the LA Clippers play a team that's starting DJ Augustine, Kyrie Thomas, Jayshawn Tate, KJ Martin, and Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah.
That's who the Houston Rockets start tonight.
Ugh.
That's who the Houston Rockets start tonight. I don't want to watch the Utah Jazz play the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are starting Theo Maledon, a guy whose name I cannot pronounce, Darius Baisley, Isaiah Roby, and Moses Brown.
Yeah.
See, this is a problem.
Yeah.
This is a problem. And it's what the NFL does so unbelievably well. It's the reason that the NFL is king is because you don't. Who's the worst team in the NFL?
Houston,
Detroit
Texas.
Lions.
All right, let's play again. Twice, 2, 3, shoot.
Houston Rockets.
Houston Rockets.
Houston Texans.
All right, name me 5 players from the Houston Texans.
Well, I mean, we can do that because we're fans.
We're fans of the NBA, right?
Yeah.
You're a big
Yeah.
Knicks fan?
Yeah.
Name me 5 players from the Houston Texans.
From the Houston Texans?
Oh, hell, you got Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cook, David Johnson.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson,
Mark
Tyrod
Ingram.
Taylor, Mark Ingram,
Philip Lindsay.
You got Tunstall, Laramie
Laramie
Tunstall.
Yeah.
You got
Max Sharping.
Shaq Lawson because just got traded from Miami.
Oh, let's play a fun game. Name me any player that plays for the Toronto Raptors right now.
Fred VanVleet.
Nope.
Is he hurt?
He gone.
Really?
Yeah, he's sitting in street clothes.
Chris Boucher.
There's one.
And he just got off the list.
It would cost a lot of money.
Gary Trent Jr.
That's 2. You do have 2. If you get a third one, I honestly might just get up and leave because you're more qualified to do this than I am.
Hold on. Holy doty, my little German friend.
Yeah, you see how hard this is?
Yeah, it shouldn't be this hard.
It is though.
And that's back in the yeah. I'm gonna tap out there. So here's the thing, and I remember being young, right? And I remember playing like the video games that we would play. Mm-hmm. And I know Jeremy is like this because we've talked about this, but I remember being like playing games with my friends and be like, oh, where did he go to college? Where did he go to college? Where did he go to college? These guys, like, I would know every single player where they went to college. Like, I'd know, and I would know every single player on every team on the video games and stuff like that. And you would go and play, and then we would even make our own, like, dice games with basketball players. And, like, you roll dice, and that meant a three-pointer or things like that. We would draft players and do all kinds of stuff. You don't get that anymore. And it's starting to be this... And I think it also starts back. This whole idea as well, I believe is starting with this whole AAU-ification of basketball as well.
I don't
And
agree
they're
with you.
coming up in the college basketball, the one and dones, and they're starting. And the NBA is not drafting for. They're drafting for potential instead of actual talent. I mean, how many guys are drafted every year? I mean, it seems like there's 3 guys that are drafted in the first round that are actually on the team at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. It's pathetic. And so I don't know. You were about to ring the bell. You thought I was going to say something good, but what did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to hit on a point that I've been making forever.
Yeah.
Where did this all start? Where did the and it's going to get markedly worse because the last step in this rung just happened. Where did this start? Mm-hmm. It started because you don't form emotional connections with these guys in college because they either went straight to the pros, whatever the case may be, and until they did something to make you care about them, a la Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You know who you don't give a shit about? Jonathan Bender.
Yeah.
I'm even trying to think of guys that did this.
Al Harrington, guys like that. I mean,
You never saw these guys. And now that you've got them going to the G League, do you know how little momentum there is for the draft? Because 3 of the guys in the top 5 are going to be guys that you have never watched play.
Not one
time.
single.
You will never
drop
have
of
watched
basketball.
Jonathan Kuminga. You will have never watched Jalen Greene. You will never. And there's a third one that's slipping my mind.
And I've looked at the mock drafts, and these guys are all in the top 6. All 3 of them.
Yeah, and you know what happened to all the rest of them? They're not draftable.
Yeah.
The guys that can score like crazy, they went to the G League and they scored like crazy.
Right.
The rest of them, they're washed out.
Yeah, it's just,
Washed out. Cool. Now you get to play in the G League. And I told he can vouch for this because we've done a show long enough that he can remember me telling him this was going to happen. You mark my words. This is going to hurt the NBA way more than it ever helps.
And
And it's what the NBA does.
Yeah.
You keep taking these. Yes, armchair. You said Malachi Flynn's playing. He actually is. Armchair being the Canadians. Yeah. They listed off a bunch of Raptors players, and my YouTube had frozen.
Baines, Kyle Lowry, Patrick Seek,
literally every player he listed, not playing.
Yeah. They're not playing for the Raptors right now. So that's, yeah. And I think that's what I was trying to say was that is the way that they start and they put these guys in these AAUs and they tell them that they're better than they are. They tell them they can just go NBA. You guys, you're going to be an NBA star. You're going to be an NBA star. They don't want to go to college anymore because they can make money in the G League. And again, I think there's where we need to. And I said this the other day, and Jeremy wasn't on the show. I think it was his day off.
Yeah.
I feel like one thing that might help, and I don't know if it would, and I would want to get your guys' opinion on this. I feel like college basketball should kind of adopt the college baseball rule. Either you come right out, you can go to the pros right out of college, or you have to stay in college for 2 years. I like that. I also like, and isn't that kind of similar to, well, you can't really go pro in football, but I mean, just adopt these kind of things where you have to force them. And I know that there's talks against that where, it's a free market and you want to be able to get your money and blah, blah, blah.
That's where I wanted to get to.
Yeah. But you can go, if you allow them to go right out of high school, hey, you can go get drafted. But you get drafted, you're not going to go anywhere. You know what I mean? You don't get drafted, you can go, they might pick you up in G League. But if you don't, and you go to college, you have to stay for 2 years. So at least we get invested for you for 2 years.
That's the point.
The rule can work.
What rule can work?
Changing the rule that way can work.
100%.
Because what it's gonna force guys who are making this decision to do is to learn to make a commitment.
Yeah.
And shocker of shockers, what's one of the things that old school sports fans don't like about today's players? Commitment.
Yeah.
They don't have the commitment. And I think that all wraps into the regular season talk. You don't have the commitment to the actual game to do your best each and every night. And not only that, but you have, you want to go pro, go right out of high school, take your chances with the G League thing, go for it.
Yeah.
You make a commitment to college, you're going to be here for 3 years.
And here's the thing. That's a small. Patrick Holt said in the comments, these foreign guys come to the league and they become stars. Yeah, because they are stars.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic is one of the 10 best players in the league.
Yep.
There's no hiding that. He keeps making highlight plays that you see on SportsCenter. I could give you 20 more guys that are very super talented. You don't have a damn clue they are.
Oh, the foreign guys.
You don't have a damn clue they are.
And I think that's part of it. People were seeing overseas that these kids were playing in professional leagues when they were younger, and they started coming over, and then the guys got ideas here like, oh, well, why can't we do that? Why don't we do that kind of thing?
And that's the thing. The NBA worries way too much about one word, and it's the word that drives me the craziest in this life. Anybody care to take a stab at what that word is?
Fairness?
Fair. It's not fair. Well, you know what's not fair? These.
Yeah.
These right here.
Yeah.
My eyes are not fair.
No.
My dollars are not fair. Because if you don't grab me, I don't just give $8 to every league because that's fair. I've never watched an MLS game in my life and don't plan on starting anytime soon. And I'm going to be really honest with you. The NBA is closer right now to the MLS than it is the NFL. And it's not even debatable. I'm not agree with you 100%. Even debatable.
Well, the NBA regular season is coming to a close on Sunday. Most teams have 2 games left.
Yeah.
And it's not looking good for our Charlotte Hornets here.
I like how we just talked about how the NBA sucks for 40 minutes, and now we're going to talk about the NBA.
Well, you know what? It's because it's playoff time.
It ain't going to be long. You mark my words.
Yeah. We're going to get you caught up on the playoff scenarios, and then we're going to move right along. With 2 games left in the regular season, there is a lot of seeding to be determined.
Yeah.
Nothing else is going to change. We know who the teams in the playoffs are going to be.
Yeah.
There is an outside chance that the Chicago Bulls can win to, and the Washington Wizards can lose to. No, there's not.
It's the same thing for the Pelicans and the Spurs.
Right.
Or the Wild.
Excuse me. The 10 playoff teams in each conference are already set. The Spurs clinched last night in the West.
Oh, they did clinch? Okay.
Yeah. The Spurs clinched last night in the West, and the only thing in play in the West is the 6-7 seed. Los Angeles has an opportunity, should Portland trip up, to be able to rise into the 6. Portland falls to the 7. Lakers are no longer in the play-in tournament, which I think would be. I think the NBA actually kind of wants this to happen. I think the NBA actually wants that one-time primo game, LeBron James against Steph Curry, in a one-and-done playoff scenario.
They'll get some eyeballs on that game.
It's the only way. It's the only way they will, because nobody's tuning in for the Memphis Grizzlies and the San Antonio Spurs. Nobody really gives a shit.
Nobody will tune in for that game.
No.
Nobody will tune in with the Lakers in it.
Oh, you think so?
The ratings are still going to be god awful.
Yeah.
You mark my words, because Laker fans are so, what's the word? Cocky, that they think there's no shot they can lose.
Right.
So if the NBA is, the NBA is not steering into this, I promise you that.
Well,
no, the NBA is in a nightmare scenario, but to me,
that they did to themselves.
Right, but the best case scenario for them, in my opinion, would be you're going to have a primo game involved in this play-in tournament, or the ratings will be even more god-awful. I guarantee you, if you lined up the ratings from the Lakers-Warriors game, they're probably going to double every other game that will be in this.
Yeah.
How many people are tuning in for Memphis and San Antonio?
They're not.
In the Eastern Conference, you're going to really hammer in to see, well, maybe the Boston Celtics and the Washington Wizards. That could.
Nobody's going to watch that game because Jalen Brown's hurt and they know they're not going to win.
That could still happen.
This is the Lakers. Something popped in my head when we were just talking about with the Lakers maybe going down in the playoff thing. Here's a perfect example of how this goes. In years before, I have been I'm a fan of basketball. The Knicks have not been good. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to lie, I typically root for LeBron James to win a championship because I wanted him. I think he's an unbelievable player, and he just I wanted him to get more championships so that I stopped hearing this bullshit that he's not that good of a player, blah, 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 blah. This year, I will be rooting for him to get into the playoff, the losing round.
Okay.
Lose again and lose again so that they don't make the fucking playoffs absolutely at all.
You're just going full on anti-LeBron.
I don't care anymore.
I was a LeBron apologist for a long time. I'm not.
I don't care. I'd rather see a team like the Suns with Chris Paul win the championship. I'd rather see the Denver Nuggets win it with Djokovic. Mm-hmm. I'd rather see Philadelphia finally get over that edge.
Right.
I want Brooklyn to die. You know what I mean? Those are the things that I am as actual basketball fan, not just the carefree basketball fan. This is what they're doing to the product. That someone who cares about basketball so much wants all these guys to just die and go away.
Failure.
Yes, right. And that is the perfect point of how this is going, and that's really, really sad.
All right, so Brian has become a hate rooter. You're rooting for teams to fail, just because of.
My wife just said she was a big LeBron fan before she met me. Not anymore. Those two things actually don't have anything to do with each other. Right. But they might.
Yeah.
They might have.
You do get, you get consumed by the things that you hear over and over again. And so I can see, yes.
It's not just,
you badmouth LeBron James way more than
and it's not
any
just,
LeBron James apologist.
To be honest, it's not even so much of all. The political stuff has a little bit to do with it, but it's certain things like what last year he says, "Oh, this playoff thing is an awesome idea," blah blah blah, and then you know 1 year later, when you're possibly in it, oh, whoever made this idea is a fucking idiot. Like, you know,
it needs to be fired.
Yeah, it needs to be fired. Like, that's the kind of shit that makes me want to just be like, you are stupid. Stop talking.
And where did it all come from? Where did they? So Tank said they found themselves in a nightmare scenario.
Yep.
Why? Why are they in a nightmare scenario? Why does this play-in tournament exist? Why do any of these things exist?
To be fair.
Because you were trying to be fair. The NBA it has the mentality of a 4-year-old. They fix a problem that is a problem right this second, and they do not in any way think about what it's going to do 5 minutes from now. It's just like the bubble, the social justice messages on the floor, the play-in tournament, the load management, all of it. The G League thing, all of it. It's because you're running this product like you're a 4-year-old. This is my problem right now. I'm going to fix it at all costs, and I'm not going to think about what it affects 5 seconds from now. And now this is where it is. I'll be honest with you, I thought Adam Silver was the best commissioner in sports. I don't anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's even debatable. The best commissioner in sports is Roger Goodell, and it's not debatable. You may not like him, and you know why you don't like him? Because things aren't fair. It's not fair. No, but you know what it is? It's good for business. And the NFL's printing money daily. I mean, just buckets and truckloads and shit tons of cash.
Shit tons.
Exactly 7.
How much is in a shit ton?
They make exactly 19 shitloads a day.
I love that when he does that. That's one of my favorites.
They make exactly 19 shitloads of money a day.
That's one of my wife's favorite sayings as well.
The NBA makes one shitload a month.
Right.
And that's the point, is that you worry about what's fair. It's not fair. And everybody doesn't have a chance. Yeah, because we don't give a fuck about everybody.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what? And this is the old myth of we all love Cinderellas. Lowest rated Final Four games of all time. You know what they had in common?
Cinderellas.
VCU, George Mason, Butler,
Yeah.
and I can't remember the other. Loyola Chicago.
Yeah.
That's what the 4 lowest Final Four rated games of the last 25 years have in common. You know why? Because you don't care. You want to watch Duke and Carolina and Kentucky and Michigan and Ohio State and Texas and big brands. Because we're busy people. And most people, I'm going to be honest with you, have the attention span of a friggin' tsetse fly. And so if there's anything that takes your eyes away from it, you go away.
Yeah.
And the NBA's giving you 50. It's giving you 50 reasons to not watch the sport. And now you want to know why your ratings suck? And you want to know why your ratings are in the tank? Oh, it's the cord cutting. Cool. Why is that not affecting the NFL? Weird. It's weird how that does not affect the NFL, but it affects every other sport. Oh, people are just not watching TV like they used to. 20 million of them a week are watching the NFL. Per channel, by the way. Per game. But, oh, it's a cord cutting. It's a cord cutting. You're not watching TV. People are not watching sports. They figured out they don't need to watch sports during the pandemic.
No, it's because you have way too many games. You have players who don't play every game.
Yep.
You want to embrace the ancillary things around the game and what the players are doing off the court or saying off the court more than anything that they're doing on the court. You celebrate these things, you're going to alienate the people who actually love the competition. The people that actually are in it for the buckets and the dunks and the bright lights and all that went into making superstars in the NBA. You've decided that now we're going to lean into their personalities. Yeah. And it makes perfect sense now to me why people are going to manufactured personalities in Impact Wrestling.
Right.
Because that's better.
Yeah.
Because honestly, they do better promos than LeBron James. I've seen LeBron James try to talk shit to people for 20 years now in the NBA, and nobody talks shit to another opponent like professional wrestlers. If we wanted the drama, we'd watch the fake shit. We want the real shit.
You know what I want more of? I want more of Udonis Haslem coming in for the first game of his entire season.
And getting thrown out in 3 minutes.
And just talking shit to Dwight Howard right away. I want to see that. I want to see guys invested in their team that they go out there for one reason only, to get him out of the game.
Yeah. Chew bubble game and kick ass.
Armchair Commentary just had quite possibly the best line you'll ever hear.
Yeah. Okay.
He said, I will watch the Bengals and the Jaguars with no vested interest on the Thursday Night Football. And I swear to you, if you look at the NFL schedule, I think they do it just to prove a freaking point. I think they do it just to prove. We can put the Panthers and the Texans as the Thursday night game of week 2. And guess what it's going to do? Better than an NBA Finals number on a network that a lot of people don't even have. And we'll make it exclusive in a year to Amazon. And you'll have to have an Amazon account just to watch the game. And guess what people will do? They'll sign up for Amazon. And they'll have their Amazon account. And they'll watch the shitty bit rate. And the NFL will just keep doing it. I swear to you, the NFL will get to a point where they'll go, all right, we cut up Kleenex boxes. And we're going to project the game through the pee hole in the Kleenex box, and you'll watch it. And you'll do it. You'll 100% do it.
Why are you peeing in Kleenex boxes?
The thing when the
slit.
No, well, that's not what I was talking about. When you used to watch solar eclipses, you would take a Kleenex box and put the little hole in it, and
you put the hole
it wouldn't burn your retinas out.
Burn your retinas watching
By the way,
solar
anybody
eclipse.
ever met somebody that went blind from looking at a solar eclipse? Me neither. I was just throwing that out there. One of those things that your parents lied to. Hashtag parents bullshit ain't real.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, staring at the sun. I mean, it
doesn't change shit when it's in an eclipse. You ever been in a grocery store and you see somebody wearing real dark sunglasses and they say, didn't have my Kleenex box, didn't put my little pee hole in the Kleenex box and went blind. No, none of you have. And then before somebody chimes in and says, my next door neighbor used it. Bullshit.
No, it's not the fact that the eclipse makes it stronger. It makes it, that's the only time you're going to look directly at the sun. So they tell you to do that to diffuse the light. It's not because it's stronger.
They didn't explain that.
Okay.
So, if you stare at the sun during an eclipse, you'll go blind. No one ever did.
I know nobody has film anymore, but you can use film to watch it through, and that'll diffuse it as well.
I'm going to take what Armchair said.
The more you know. The only reason I remember that is because when I was on the movie set with Heavyweights, there was an eclipse, and so
Hashtag humble brag.
Yeah. So
Name
they
drop.
actually opened up. Yeah, they actually opened up the canisters and gave us all little strips of film to watch it through.
Hashtag
pretty
humble
cool.
brag.
It was pretty cool.
No big deal.
Yeah, I watched this. I watched the solar eclipse standing.
He was in a movie.
Standing 1 foot away from
no
Ben
big deal.
Stiller. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
I was in a movie too.
That was
you
my
can just
childhood.
only find it on the dark web.
God, don't. No, nobody's going to look for that. There are a couple of close races,
Fuck
though.
the cats.
Hold on. I wasn't done with
Oh,
mine.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm going to take what Armchair said one step further.
Yeah, okay.
He said, I watched the Jags and the Bengals play with no invested interest whatsoever. You going to sign up to watch the Pistons and the Rockets?
Not a chance now.
You going to sign up to watch the Tampa Bay Rays and the Cincinnati Reds?
No.
I can do this with every sport. You won't do it. You won't do it, and your eyes speak to
It's
it.
because almost every single game in football matters.
Yes.
It matters.
And Patrick Holt said, I think the reason is that there aren't any major rivalries anymore. There are still rivalries in the NBA that are very contentious. The Miami Heat and damn near anybody.
Yeah.
The Lakers and the Celtics. I mean, I could keep going.
Yeah. The Heat and the Knicks.
There are
a
still
thing.
rivalries. The problem is you don't, like Forrest Gump said, the NBA's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You might get Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. You might get Udonis Haslem and Duncan Robinson. One I would like to watch. One I wouldn't watch if it happened in the backyard of my house.
Yeah.
And that's the
I
problem.
close the fucking blinds.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't even fucking watch. It's just like, wouldn't even watch it. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And you know what? Coming into this playoffs, honestly, if it wasn't for me and the Knicks being excited that they're going to be in the playoffs and they're probably going to lose because they're going to be the 6th seed and they're going to play the fucking Bucks. God! You know what I mean?
You don't know that.
Oh, shit!
Oh, damn the devil!
Oh, shit! Shoot! Damn the devil!
Yeah.
To hell!
Yeah.
Excuse me. I don't know how much I'd be super interested in it.
That's what I want you to think about.
Yeah.
I want you to think about the fact that now you have 2 New York teams that are going to be top 6 seeds in the East. You have Philadelphia that's relevant, not for the first time, but they weren't for such a period of time.
Yep.
You've got both LA teams, Dallas, which is a big media market.
Yeah.
You've got all of the things you could ever want, and no one cares,
Yeah.
and no one gives a shit. We went live the other night for something. You know what it was? The NFL schedule release. Because all we're doing is biding our time until football season starts. And you want me to tell you what's getting ready to happen. If you think the ratings last year were bad for the finals, wait till they start contending with NFL preseason time. Because they're gonna.
Yeah.
And if you think it's bad now, just wait. Wait till people have other things to consume.
Right.
Oh, they did their finals in when were the actual finals?
October?
Yeah, that was against NFL games, which I get it, but they were weekdays. Now it's the all-encompassing who's going to make my team in the preseason, and just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Yeah.
And I tried to tell you. I told you when we were doing the show from the bunker, the NBA is making one huge mistake. They're making a lot of small mistakes. They're making one catastrophic one. Mm-hmm. They're now making more of their calendar compete directly with the NFL.
Dumb.
And it's a bad idea.
Right. I mean, the NBA is becoming like baseball, where it's more of a regional sport now.
Yep.
Where especially these teams that don't have the superstars, that's the only people that really care about what's going on. I mean, New York Knicks fans are going to care that over the next 2 games, they're going to end up playing 2 teams that they could easily beat. Mm-hmm. And they would much like to climb out of that 6th spot and not have to play the Milwaukee Bucks. They need the Miami Heat to fall out of that 5 spot so they can get up there and play Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a possibility that, you know, that New York could end up as the 4 seed if things go their way. The Charlotte Hornets are on a slide that is not good. They have lost the last 3 games. The last month, 2 months of the season have not been great, especially the last month of the season. They've lost 3 games in a row, and they're going to lose 3 more. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to warn you right now. They are going to be one and done in this playoff thing because they got to play the New York Knicks and the Washington Wizards to close out the season.
Yeah.
Then guess what? They get to play the Washington Wizards again in the play-in game, and guess what? They've fallen out of that 7-8 spot. They're not in double elimination territory anymore. They're going to lose those 3 games, and I hope they don't. I hope it goes better for them than what I'm projecting. But I'm projecting 3 more games. They're going home, and they're not going to have a series. But that 4, 5, 6 area, and then the play-in games in the East, the seeding is still up in contention. And then the main story right now is, will LeBron James play for the next 2 games? Will the Lakers be able to win 2, hope that Portland slips up enough for them to get into the 6th spot and out of that play-in game? Mm-hmm. But there again, if they end up in it, they're going to end up as the 7 seed. The Golden State Warriors are right there with them. It might end up, I could imagine the Golden State Warriors losing a game and the Memphis Grizzlies jumping up into that 7-8 spot.
Yum.
And then you got, just to blow up the narrative, of LeBron James versus Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Or would the NBA rather have it that way?
They probably would.
You put them on either side of the bracket, and then maybe they play each other to get into the playoffs. That's a possibility as well.
We are the Democratic Republic of Sports.
Of course we are.
We're going to give our fans what they want.
Of course we are.
And it's not NBA.
And they have spoken their mind in our comment section. So from this moment right here, this show will no longer contain any more NBA content. We're moving on.
I can't say that it won't contain any.
No. I'm saying for today's show.
For today's show.
Oh, I meant...
Absolutely, we're done.
Yeah, I meant pretty much in general.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's very easy to say that this show won't contain any more content because we're done. And now...
is it time to sign off?
Well,
we're not even going to talk about Kelvin Benjamin? We got to talk about Kelvin Benjamin.
All right.
We got to keep the ball rolling here. We got to give the people what they want. Brian Haynes' Giants have become, as I said earlier in the program, the Betty Ford Clinic of wide receivers.
Well, here's one of the things that I need you to understand.
Yeah.
Look behind my head.
Yeah.
You know what's on the other side of that Jameis Winston jersey?
It's a Kelvin Benjamin jersey. Yeah.
Because that's who caught the pass in the national title game for us to beat Auburn.
Uh-huh.
They're both signed. Hey, there's a signature on your new players in the studio.
There you go. You got one. Kelvin Benjamin is going to be trying out at the Giants mini camp. He's been out of football since 2018. The last time we saw him on a field, he was the fattest wide receiver I have ever seen in my life.
Hey.
And I get it. 3 fat guys making fun of another guy, an elite athlete for being fat. We get it. But the point still stands. Booger McFarland even said in his final days in Buffalo, I believe it was, that he was one more Popeye's biscuit away from being a tight end.
Yeah.
Now, he's going to show up to minicamp and try to join the team that doesn't need a wide receiver.
The least.
It's the
least
biggest
of the
need.
needs
Yo, it's the
that
last
we needed.
It was the last need we needed. It was the wide receiver. They got Kadarius Toney now. They've got Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, Kenny Golladay. Those are your main ones. Now they have John Ross.
And they have this.
Yeah.
Fat Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah.
Look at the ham hocks on that guy. Good hell.
He's the beef receiver.
Sweet baby Lord.
That's the new position in the NFL, beef receiver.
His thighs are bigger than yours.
Yeah, they are.
And not in the good way. In the let me see you Tootsie Roll. Wait. To the left, to the left, to the right, to the right.
Right. He just. You got so John Ross, and who was the other one? Who's the other one that just joined the team? That is, Dante Pettis. Yeah, remember when he was going to be a thing? Now, I mean, it's just like this is the reclamation project, and I get the tie between David Gettleman and Kelvin Benjamin. He's going to give him another opportunity, but why? Why?
Here's my take.
Okay.
They brought in Kelvin Benjamin to play offensive line. Yeah. You said he likes bringing in hogamollies.
Hogamollies. Listen, this guy puts the definition of wide in wide receiver.
Yep.
He's one donut short from being a complete circle.
If he went to Hollis, it'd take 2 trips.
All that good stuff.
Yep.
Here is the thing. This guy wasn't a good player 3 years ago. He wasn't. He caught 23 passes. And they went 25 with the split year between Buffalo and Kansas City. He was fat, out of the league. Here's the thing. David Gettleman, you only get to bring in a certain amount of guys. I'm gonna tell you a story of a little wide receiver out of UMass, of the Giants' history. This was a guy who came in on the 90-man roster, and in the preseason,
He's talking about Victor Cruz.
He caught three touchdown passes in a preseason game. He got hurt, but then he came out and he ended up making a team Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Mm-hmm. And a hell of a dancer.
We're given a roster spot.
Should have drank more milk, though. Yeah. Bones were a little brittle. Maybe
see, someone who hasn't played football in 3 years. Mm-hmm. I mean, the last that we saw of him,
Now, it's not a roster spot. It's just a tryout.
A tryout. I don't care. You get 90 of them. There's probably...
Well, no, tryouts. You can do as many tryouts as you want to.
Okay.
However, I do need to say this, and this was referenced about tryouts. They don't have to disclose tryouts. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. They typically disclose tryouts because they want you to know about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care what... I just can't see him... taking 3 years off and all of a sudden becoming back in shape, ready to play wide receiver in the NFL. Mm-hmm. These are the kind of situations you give to guys you find that have some talent, that might have an upside. You never really know what they're going to do, but you just 100%, there might be a chance we get this guy and he shows us something.
Yep.
We've seen what Kelvin Benjamin can do, and it's not good. Yes.
He eats real good.
And he ain't eating dubs.
No.
He
ain't eating dubs. He's eating doves.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only way Kelvin Benjamin's eating the doves if it's a Whataburger.
Oh.
He's, you know what? I wish him the best of luck.
Yeah, good luck.
I really do.
Luck. It's just another move in a continuous moves of makes me want to just have a voodoo doll of Dave Gettleman and just poke him with little tiny.
Well, I mean, it's the only spot that he's ever going to get a chance to play in the NFL again.
With a bunch of little pins.
He's gonna do the mini camp tryout, and you know what? I hope he makes the team, but I really hope he's lost about 50 pounds.
I want to auction off the ability to watch the first Giants game of the year with Brian.
100%.
Well, we're gonna be in Charlotte, remember?
I want to auction off the ability to watch the second game with Brian.
Yeah, let's auction
the second Giants game. We got the Byron Nelson this weekend. Finally, somebody did pop up on the leaderboard that I know now. Jordan Spieth took the lead at the Byron Nelson after yesterday's action. Everything he's not in the lead anymore. Everything has already started off this morning. And now Wyndham Clark is in the lead at the Byron Nelson. You were telling me this is one of the better off major tournaments.
A lot of guys are not playing this week, but the Byron Nelson's it's a very well-known tournament.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. I've been enjoying my afternoon golf more than I like to care to admit. It was just proof that I am definitely getting older. And then the things that spark me up on a Saturday night, UFC 262. You got the lightweight main event. The title is going to be on the line, the vacant title. Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler. You like Michael Chandler to win this fight?
And he's the dog.
Oh, is he? Ooh. How is he the dog? I would think
it's very close. Oliveira is a minus 135 favorite.
Okay, I was going to say the push that Michael Chandler has now.
Who vacated the belt?
That guy.
Khabib.
Yeah.
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, he vacated the title, so this is going to be, only Michael Chandler's second UFC fight. Okay. He came in from Bellator. He was the lightweight champion there.
Okay. Hold on, I was asked to do this.
Yeah.
Xander Schauffele.
I like it when he says that too.
Always got to get that in
the comments saying that.
Michael Whiteside.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Xander Schauffele.
Yeah, I like that a lot when he says that. So nice.
In just his second UFC fight, he'd be the fastest champion in UFC history.
And he's going to be.
I think so too.
I think he's going to be. I'm going to take Michael Chandler to win this fight. The good thing about this one, UFC 262, there are not a lot of heavy favorites. Like the biggest favorite on the main card is Benelli Dariush against Tony Ferguson. And I'll be honest with you, I take Tony Ferguson.
Really?
Is the winner of that going to be facing the winner of this other one for the championship coming up?
No. The winner of
co-main event in lightweight.
The winner of the Poirier Connor fight will probably get that, right?
Oh, so
title shot.
You said Dustin Poirier wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to throw
Connor in there.
You don't have to throw Scotch Irish whiskey in there because he ain't gonna win it.
Are there any others on the main card that pop out to you?
No. I mean, I think it's just gonna be a good night of fights of guys you don't of guys and girls that you don't know.
And here again, what am I rooting for? I said this before the last UFC pay-per-view. I'm gonna say it before this one. Longer fights. Jesus, it feels like the last three pay-per-views have been, first round, second round knockouts.
Good.
All over the card. You're okay with that?
For knockouts, 5 seconds into it. Give me some.
Michael
Whiteside. Not when every fight is like that.
Mike Whiteside said he wants to hear Xander Schauffele's name in the Chris Farley voice.
I don't know if I can do that. First of all, Xander Schauffele was thrice divorced.
He's living in
a van down by the river.
Say, Dad, is that Xander Schauffele?
Is
that Xander Schauffele over there?
Yeah.
Oh, you think you're good at golf, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, sounds like you've been using your clubs not for playing, but for fucking bitches.
Oh, nice.
Nice. It's a great way to end it on a Friday here. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. You will be in on all of our content getting ready to come out over the next couple of days.
40 videos.
Yep.
4-0 coming out in the next 3 days.
We are going to be going down the schedules of each and every team. We will do it division by division. We will also separate those into individual team videos, which will be placed in the Sportsocracy playlists, team by team. Check it out. Subscribe to the channel. Send all of the videos to your friends, whoever their team is. Encourage them to join the Sportsocracy community here. Tell them about all the fun that we have every weekday morning at 9-ish right here in the Wicked Weed studio. Check out our friends at Wicked Weed this weekend. Hey, you can actually go and drink in the brew pub now in downtown Asheville. So that's a good thing. You can also order your beer if you still want to stay at home. WickedWeedBrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. He's Brian Haynes. And we'll see you later on with our team-by-team schedule videos. Bye.